It's strange. When you walk through that door, I half expected to see Belinda. Belinda and I practically shared a life. Losing her feels like losing a limb. She's conspicuous by her absence. Thank you, but no. I can't grieve properly while Ludovico's still breathing. So let's see if we can't solve that problem first. We shut down Ludovico's distillation plant, but he's not gonna sit idly by. If he can't use Spectrum Brown to infect the colony, he'll resort to some kind of backup plan. I stole this formula from Dr. Blossom, a failed prototype of Spectrum Brown. Look at this. The prototype had the opposite effect, and actually made you immune to the parasites. This is Halcyon. Everyone's already miserable. A little more despair isn't gonna make a difference. We're going to need 2 ingredients. A sample of essence of Sprat, and 1 intact pod of parasite eggs. Cedric's warehouse in the Piraeus spaceport almost certainly carries a batch of Sprat essence. As for the pod, I'd check the Wilderness Reserve if I were you. I'm glad one of us is an expert. Most of what I know is based on Dr. Blossom's notes. Here's what I understand. Sprats have an adaptive immune system. They don't suffer from the diseases and parasites they carry. It's one reason why you'll see them in every corner of the colony. Dr. Blossom experimented with Sprats and accidentally discovered a way to become immune to the parasites. That's probably when she decided to switch to human testing. You're a scientist and an inspector? You really are full of surprises. I borrowed a centrifuge from the research lab. Used the ingredients to synthesize an antiparasitic. I'm glad I could count on your expertise. Once you're finished, head to the pilot house. We'll hijack the control system and disperse the cure into the atmosphere. That should kill off most of the parasites. The more severe cases are beyond saving. I'm afraid there's not much we can do for Groundskeeper Yarbo. There is one other thing. While you're at Piraeus Spaceport, have a word with Cedric Kincannon. I know Cedric. There's nothing he wants more than a chance to eliminate Ludovico. We could use him on our side. Best of luck, Inspector. I'm counting on you. Why, Inspector? Am I being questioned? All right, Hawthorne it is. Belinda and I shared the role of Helen, but she was also the only person who knew the real me. To the rest of the colony, I'm Halcyon Helen, but to my sister, I was just Ruth. I could be myself around Belinda, and she could be herself around me. She was my only sister, but she was also my only friend. No, Belinda enjoyed the secrecy. She could slip into the role of Halcyon Helen, attend social events on my behalf, perform a few stunts, deliver a few lines. And then, when she grew tired of all the people and all the attention, all she had to do was slip out of the role and be my sister again. She was the secret twin. She had a comfortable life in the shadows, an easier life. I made sure of that. What I want is my sister back, but I'll settle for killing Ludovico. Parents, naturally. An agent, a couple of directors. None of them had any reason to reveal the truth. To them, Helen was a brand. Revealing our secret meant damaging that brand. Damaging that brand meant losing money. Nobody in this colony wants to lose money. Belinda and I saw Helen as an act of theatric sleight of hand. We enjoyed the deception, the challenge. We wanted to see how far we could go. And if I hadn't underestimated Ludovico, you and I probably wouldn't be talking about Belinda in the past tense. We wouldn't be talking about her at all. It should have been me in that ballroom. Belinda died because I was careless. Never mind that. If you've got something else to ask me, now's the time. I'm glad I could satisfy your curiosity. I can't tell if you're being sarcastic, and that worries me a little. Leora Blossom and Maria Keene were on Ludovico's side. They chose to stand between me and my sister's killer. I had to cross them off. Would you believe me if I said I gave the constable a chance? I spoke to her in her office. I told her everything. Belinda, Ludovico, the parasites, all of it. Maria said I was guilty of corporate sabotage, and that she had a duty to report me. She told me how sorry she was, and I told her the same thing. And then I shot her. Maria was defending my sister's killer. If someone murdered one of your crew in cold blood, what would you do? So you do understand. Was there anything else? Yes, this is mine. I'd kept notes on everything I suspected, everything I'd discovered. It's all here, all in code. Belinda and we had a secret way of communicating. Words and phrases that had a special meaning to us. Numbers and dates that were only important to the two of us. Only 2 people in the universe knew that language. That's kind of you. Thank you. You don't know how many times I relived this moment in my mind. I discovered what Ludovico was up to when I toured the orchards. I threatened to expose his plan. Ludovico decided to eliminate me. He programmed Burbage 3001 to fire on his command and disabled the security cameras in the ballroom. Only, he didn't know about Belinda. I'm sure he thought it was my skull he caved in with a bottle of Spectrum Brown. Burbage covered his blow with the plasma shot, and then Ludovico wiped his memory. Something like that. I had a problem I had to sort out first. You were an unknown variable. I didn't know what to make of you. I went after Leora Blossom, and you were just one step behind me. I programmed an automech to steal some explosives from Cedric, but you weren't far behind. You were always hot on my heels, one step behind and catching up. I realized I'd have to throw in with you or eliminate you. I like your confidence. Take that with you when you hunt down Ludovico. It's a long story, Hawthorne. It was supposed to be just another marketing job. Rizzo's wanted Halcyon Helen to be the face of Spectrum Brown. Some hideous concoction served with a dead parasite. All we had to do was spend a few weeks on Eridanos. Shake some hands, sign a few autographs, drink a bottle of Spectrum Brown in front of a camera, and try to smile. Belinda didn't want to go. But I wanted a change of scenery. In any case, we couldn't possibly say no. I'm an actress by trade. Pretending to enjoy Spectrum Brown was one of the hardest roles of my career. Belinda always hated endorsement deals. They felt cheap to her, inauthentic. She always believed her first priority was to our fans, and not the company that bought us out. Belinda and I arrived on Eridanos and played our usual game of trading places. We were practically flawless. Even Ludovico didn't know about us. Belinda was unhappy for the first few days, but then she met Bertie Holcomb. Bertie treated her like a human being and not just an Aetherwave icon. They were just about perfect. Bertie has a dreadful temper. I was worried about Belinda for a while, but she told me he'd never lay a finger on her, and I took her at her word. Bertie wasn't the person I should have kept an eye on. It was Ludovico. I had a feeling Ludovico was hiding something. Belinda stayed busy socializing with the celebrities around the complex. That gave me some time to do a little digging. I saw everything. The test subjects, the parasites. Spectrum Brown was never safe to drink. Those harmless, dead parasites at the bottom of every bottle. They were just dormant. It would have sold out in a month. This colony loves novelty. They'll eat up any new product we toss their way. A new cereal, a new Spectrum flavor. Ludovico knows that. From Emerald Vale to Byzantium, a parasite in every brain and a grin on every face. Every last one of us trapped behind a mask of joy. That's what Ludovico wants. I was careless. I was risking Belinda's life every step of the way, and I never even realized. I wish it were that easy. Still, thank you. Was there something else you wanted to talk about?
Inspector, you made it. Well done. I'm afraid you may find the spaceport is, at the moment, less hospitable than usual. My apologies. Regardless, you must have some purpose here. Do tell. Whew, whatever it was, it happened quickly. Like a wave sweeping across the shore. We were overrun. Survivors are still trickling in. We've put out a call to slug agents not at the docks to keep their distance. With the warehouse's stores, Slug could hold out here for weeks, easily. Possibly months. With Helen, you don't say. That's not terribly surprising, considering present circumstances. This anti-parasitic, it would restore my people to their original, non-infected selves? Safely? Coincidentally enough, we do. Ella Tinsley, the warehouse foreman, you remember her? There's a package on the desk in her office. You'll find the essence of Sprat you need in there. Oh, I wouldn't like to say. Customer-supplier confidentiality and all that. Now then, is there anything else I can do for you while you're here? Oh, my. You mean Lou was up to no good this whole time? It's an ambitious plan, I'll give him that. But tell me, why should I help you, Inspector? Always best to make sure a man has a better nature before you appeal to it. All right, but you're not to take this as confirmation I have one. Understood? You can expect Slug support. I'll arrange for my agents to meet you at the distillation station. I'll do that. I think one of our checkpoint guards is going through a divorce. As thrilled as I am to assist you in taking down Lou, we have barricaded ourselves in here for a reason. I imagine you have a plan for getting out of the spaceport safely? That I'd lose some of my agents to this violence was likely inevitable. Still, that is sad news, Inspector. Kindly save all further bloodshed for Ludovico.
I knew I smelled Sprat in here.
Fruitful and productive welcome, brother. I had a feeling you would visit me. I offer a wide variety of productivity seminars. I hope you'll consider taking one. But I should remember my manners. To what do I owe the pleasure of the Special Inspector's arrival? My disciples come to and from the Grand Colonial, bringing supplies and information. Knowing what happens at the hotel affects my livelihood, after all. With that said, I'd love to involve you in one of my productivity seminars. We should clear you of all those nasty, nasty humors hampering your potential. Absolutely not. Any statements by Ms. Helen about us were blown out of proportion and altered by the media. In fact, she quite recently... Excuse me. I seem to be remembering something that never happened. Whatever the case, I'm sure her speech about us was all a misunderstanding. We offer a wide variety of seminars for all your corporate needs. Employees not working hard enough? Employees dying too often? It's most likely your managerial humors. And of course, seminars for balancing the energies of your business offices. Interior decorating is much more important for success than many would believe. If any of this sounds at all interesting to you, might I interest you in the first 82 words of our most popular seminar's introduction? Free of charge. Byzantines live lives fraught with competition, and that competition can be immensely stressful. You must, first of all, find a way to balance your thinking. Think not of bits lost, but of those you have yet to gain. After all, peace leads to productivity, and productivity leads to profit. Though thought alone won't balance you. We have a strict regimen to promote humor clearing. Session attendees stand on burning coals, sit for hours in our productivity smokehouse, and of course, fast throughout. Precisely. The barriers within yourself will break down as your skin sweats and blisters, giving the evil humors the proper space to escape. It's my patented method. Oh? I'm surprised. I wouldn't think the two of us would have much to discuss about her. We may have had some terse interactions before her death, which I most certainly regret. But beyond those, well, never mind. What would you care to know? I wouldn't necessarily say that. The media tends to exaggerate. I will admit that her remarks about my seminars were rather unfortunate. However, I certainly wouldn't sharpen any sabers over it, if that's what you mean to imply. I only do that when my clients skimp on their bills. I did not. She had no interest in my seminars, and I had no interest in attempting to convert a stubborn actress. Why would I have had any cause to engage with her further? Why, I've been at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve for quite some time now, as my disciples can attest. In fact, I haven't visited the Colonials since I arrived several weeks ago. Bad energies, you understand. I hope you now realize that I had nothing to do with Helen's demise. Of course. In order to reach the apex of true productivity, I have learned to be a completely open person, except about my productivity secrets. Indeed, I am. I spent 10 years wandering around Halcyon with nothing but a light cruiser and several million of my Byzantine father's bits for comfort. I've been to places I bet you've only heard whispers about. Scylla, Tartarus. I even flew past Monarch. Not close enough to see the gunships, of course, but close. While it may seem strange initially, this bunker offers a controlled, safe environment for attendees to get away from the distractions and amenities of the Grand Colonial. As for why this place is no longer inhabited by Rizos, I couldn't say. But no one's been around to evict us, so I won't complain regarding the rent savings. I hope this line of questioning was sufficiently enlightening.